So, El Camino just came out on Netflix. It's by Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad, and well, it's a Breaking Bad film that tells the events of the story after the end of the show, or basically what happens to Jesse Pinkman. And honestly, I've been really excited for this film since it was first announced a few years back. We first heard rumors about it like 1.5 years or maybe 2 years ago, and it was just officially announced like 6 or 7 months ago. We just got a trailer last month, and the film finally came out today on Netflix, which I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy how quickly the film got made. And well, truth be told, Breaking Bad is one of my absolute favorite TV shows of all time. It's the first TV show that really taught me what you could do with serialized television. Before that, I had only realized that with animation, like Death Note, Evangelion, Avatar: The Last Airbender. But this was the first show where I realized TV could be more than just Friends or Two and a Half Men. So I finished watching this show like a year after it originally ended airing, which was like 2013. So I watched it like 5 years ago. And while we haven't really had a lack of Breaking Bad content, we had the show Better Call Saul, also on Netflix. Here in Latin America, we had a remake called Metastasis, which is fucking awful. Don't see it. It's just a copy of the show, but in Spanish, basically. It's like making a dub, but with actual recreations of every scene with Latin American actors. It really sucks. But yeah, there hasn't been really a lack of Breaking Bad content in my life. But I still was really excited to see this film, to go back to these characters that I really loved and know what happened to them, particularly Jesse Pinkman, who's the main character of the film. He's played by Aaron Paul. And I must say, let's get the obvious out of the way first. The film looks great. If there's something Vince Gilligan does well, is directing. Like, some of the best directed episodes of Breaking Bad were directed by him. He was the overall showrunner. Directing chops in this film are great. The film looks very nice. It has a few shots, particularly there are a few scenes that take place in an apartment, and there are a lot of shots in that scene that just look beautiful. There's one scene that's like an overlook of the whole building with Jesse doing different things in it, and that just looks great. There's also a scene that's like a Dutchman plane where he's like looking at something on the wall and the camera is slowly rotating. Yeah, the directing is very efficient. As always, as with the rest of Breaking Bad, the directing is very subdued. It's not like in your face, but it just works really well and does some very interesting and cool things. The music is also really good. It's not particularly overwhelming, and that's something that Breaking Bad always knew how to do, to incorporate its music into what was happening. It has a lot of diegetic music, but a lot of the one that's non-diegetic also works really well. And yeah, this film does the same. The music is very subdued, it's very laid back, but it works well. As to the actual existence of this film, well, is it good? Do you recommend it? Yeah, here's the thing. I think this film is unneeded. It's definitely a film that didn't need to exist. But once you've seen it, you realize that it's great. It's a great little film. Does it hold up to the show? No, it doesn't, because it doesn't even want to. It is just an epilogue. It's just one more episode of the show, or well, because of its length, it's like 2 more episodes of the show, and it just works beautifully. Really, it doesn't answer anything we didn't know. It doesn't really add a whole lot to the story of Breaking Bad, but it does tie some loose knots that were here and there. It does show us what happened to Jesse, and I believe the film came about because one day Vince Gilligan was tired of everyone asking him, hey, what happens to Jesse after the end of Breaking Bad? And he was just like, you know what, fuck it, let's make this movie. And it shows, but it's a movie made with a lot of love, passion, and care for it and its characters, and it's just so well written. Honestly, what little story is there is so well written. Is it a film that I would recommend to anyone that hasn't seen the show? No, hell no. You have to love the characters. You have to already know the whole history and everything to truly enjoy the film. Can you watch it without any knowledge of Breaking Bad? I mean, you technically could. You might be entertained. You might get some of what's going on, but you really won't appreciate the film. This is a film for the fans. And yeah, it's a a lot of fan service, but it works great. At least to me, it really does. It's a very beautiful movie. Aaron Paul does a great job as always as Jesse. I really believe the emotions he was trying to sell me. This is a very cathartic film for him. Like he's just angry and nervous and scared throughout the whole film, and it works really well. Now, as to my actual problems with the film, because like I said, I mostly think it's a really nice epilogue. I really think it's a great film, or well, a really good film. It doesn't need to be great. It's good. It's really good. My only problem is that some of the returning characters from the show look way older than they are supposed to be, because the film basically takes place one day after the end of the show, and a lot of the characters look much older. In particular, Todd, who just looks fat. I'm sorry for the actor. I don't mean to be offensive, but yeah, he just looks fat when in their show he was not fat. But beyond that, that's not even really a problem. That's just a funny detail that you will notice. Like I said, also the film feels a bit unnecessary, but once again, that isn't a problem. It's just a nice cherry on top of the cake. And really, those are the only problems I had with it. I haven't seen the show in 5 years, and I still could get most of what was happening on the film. There were a few details that I thought, I don't remember why this happened. But overall, it was a fantastic experience, a wonderful film. I really enjoyed it. I think any Breaking Bad fan should see it. And like I said, it's not gonna blow your mind. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a nice send-off to one of the greatest shows that has ever existed. And I do hope they end it here. No more Breaking Bad, except for, well, the remaining seasons of Better Call Saul, but that's a spin-off, that's a different thing. But I really do hope this is the end of Breaking Bad, because it was a really nice way of ending the show. Thank you for listening to this video. I know it's not very well edited or whatever. You'll see better videos later on, I hope. And well, that's me, Gamer Bebop. See you, digital cowboys.